Our students have a mental power and toughness that is always changing, endlessly experimenting with the latest and cutting-edge research. Our understanding continually evolves with over 200 arcane laboratories. They are shaped in clinics and grafted in the real world. From careful studies basics to full ISIT certification, we teach it all. Our campus is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ravnica. If you're dedicated to nature and science, Simic University is for you. Simic University, we don't just teach evolution, we evolve.
You wanted Infect? I'm bringing Infect. Actually, it's JherjamesB, the player online who's recently 5-0'd, I think last month in December with this list, and I thought it was intriguing, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't played it once, but I've played Infect a ton of times, but I really like some of the changes he made here, and big chances. But before I get started, Snogglesworth, first in, thank you, Twitchy Mars, Toothmaker, and Nocturnal32. Thank you for joining me on our final little push here, day 3, Twitch. Probably going to have a pretty fast evening because this is a fast deck. We're either going to lose, crash and burn fast, or we're going to win and smash face really fast. So we've got 18 lands, 16 of them are basics. We've got 2 Tranquil Thickets of the Cycling Persuasion, as I'm fond of saying, thanks to Toothmaker. We got 2 Lotus Petals. I could see why, sometimes not. A little bit of discipline required to put this in. We'll see how it plays out, and if we want it to be something else, we can always change that later. I have about 50 builds of Infect that is mono green only. I've got other builds that are all 5 colors that are actually kind of competitive. I played white Infect about, what was that, 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? I can't even smell. Infect face, that's right. We have 4 Rot Wolves. If anything dies with this, you get to draw a card. 4 Vines of Vastwood, 4 Rancors, 4 Mutagenic Growth, 4, notice a theme, 4 Glistener Elves, and we're going back to old school, Groundswell. How do we hit this consistently? You add Quirion Ranger, you return the land, and you're able to have some Edict food, and you're able to make this always hit for 4. That's the theory. And then the Protection Suite here, giving us a grand total of 8, which I've always been fond of. If you follow any of my lists that care about their creatures and are not trying to go wide, they're trying to go tall, which means build things up. Things like Rancor and such, put them on top. We got Blight Mamba, Regenerates, and Ichorclaw Myr, probably the best card in the list. So yeah, that's the main deck. In our sideboard, this is really strange. So his initial build that I remember him 5-0ing with had all 4 Hungers and Augurs main. And so obviously you trip this. Something died that turn, which trips this. I didn't get a chance to ask him why he did this, but I know he's a good enough player. I'm just going to try it and see maybe we can figure it out together. I believe this is probably just looking for decks that have a little bit more combat damage going through and you need the extra trample. I guess whenever you're going to bring in Ram 3, you're probably going to want to bring in that package. That's my hunch. We've got 3 Weather the Storms, 2 Ram through, which is kind of the new addition a couple months back, giving a creature with trample the ability to just kind of smash through like against Tron and stuff. Right when you think the fog works, it doesn't. We smash anyway, except unless it's a, what is that? The Stonehorn Dignitary, and 2 Gut Shot. I would really like this to be up at 4. I know fairies can really be kind of a headache, so go hola, Dolken Idaho, Mono G Infect, nice. So I made it in all 3 days, yes. So whoever recommended this at the very last edge of the show last night, that's why we went with it. So I'm going to go over here, and we might show some other ones too. But for right now, we're going to give this a go. And like I said, this is my first time playing it too. I mean, not Infect. I've played Infect thousands of times, so I think I should be all right. Sup the third night, says Burgern Dude. I appreciate you making it. Even Nocturnal and Toothmaker all alike. Thank you so much. Yeah, we've got, you saw the little Gary mask speed up. If you search our YouTube archives, you can see like, I think it took about 6 hours to make the Gray Merchant of Asphodel mask. And it hangs in my son's wall. He wore it for Halloween. That was pretty cool. We have a little game of Pictionary. If you're a hardcore Pauperganda watcher, you'll probably know most of the answers because those are pretty long-winded and hard to make. And we've got about 9 of them, so I try to mix and match them to kind of confuse the regulars. We play them a couple months apart, so hopefully it's never dead air. A few more Kaldheim previews, and I think we're going to have to stop airing those after today. We'll have a lot more custom bathroom breaks and things like that when we come back on Saturday, which we'll have tomorrow off, back to the Saturday schedule. And we'll just keep you posted on social media and stuff if we're going to do any of these kind of like little surges again. But I have to admit, this is the 3rd night in a row. I thought I was going to be complete toast by now, and I'm feeling fine. Feeling into it. You know, wish our opponents would show up a little bit sooner. We're waiting around here. Lonely man on the mountain. I should probably make sure that I have it set to not just buddies or something like that. Any player, yes, allow watchers. Okay, we're good. We'll keep it like that. Here we go. If you need a player, I can join. I'll stop watching, of course. Don't worry about it. Snogglesworth. It'll be all right. It's been this way for a few weeks. I've noticed even when I'm not streaming, I'm just playing slow. Maybe I should advertise that we are streaming. I don't know. Okay, well, we've got 2 creatures and a protection suite. I kind of like this hand. We'll keep this. Ooh, Grasping Scoundrel. What is this new devilry? If it gets +1/0 as long as it's attacking. Little black Sui deck. Maybe we will run into Defile. If so, we've got a nice answer in Mutagenic Growth. Yeah. All right. I just hope we run into like some Tron matchups or things that are trying to gain a lot of life, because that happened with White Infect, and God, that was just invigorating. Pun intended. Beat me to it. PT Bobby in the house. Thanks for joining me, everybody. We got a little bit smaller show so far today, according to my notes, but nonetheless, we will carry on. All right, looks like we're going to be at about 14 next turn, like it or not, as the land just keeps on rolling in. We'll drop this, be a little bit carefree. We've got this behind it. Here we go. That's 5, 6, 7. Depending on what we draw, we could have a kill shot next turn. If we get another Groundswell. Groundswell is in my the initial builds of Infect, and I could see bringing in feels almost like a modern Infect with access to, what is that, the Exalted creature in modern, the green one. I don't play enough modern to have it memorized, sorry. Okay, we got all kinds of colors coming. Thanks for trying the Boros Madness Tireless Tribe the other day. Oh, you're welcome, Haruf. Yeah, give it a go. Let's see. He's got 1, 2. Are these artifacts? No, they're not. Let's double check. There's 2 artifacts out. I guess we'll just save it. Yeah, let's save it. Whoop. Go to 12. Keep our dude alive. Always get clicked nice and slow. Frankton, Noble Hierarch. Kaldheim available? Yes, it is today. Yeah, we will probably be trying out a few new cards on Saturday. I can't make any promises. I am, this is interesting. To hit or not to hit? That comes over for 2 no matter what. That'll draw dead. I think I'm just going to invest in the board here. Probably should have attacked first there. You know, you need lots of lands for Infect Nocturnal. I find every time I skimp on them, it's just that one extra that would have kept it alive, and then we're paying dividends with Groundswell there. So we'll see. What was I going to say? This Saturday, yeah, I'm thinking of playing Pauperpedia creator Nickel's build of white. We called it White Nickel. It's just a white speed deck. Maybe using that new Valkyrie in it. I wouldn't go higher than 2 on that. But what I was saying is, like, I'm probably the best example of somebody that doesn't suffer from new card smell. All I mean by that is there's so many times something comes out and, you know, people just want to autoplay it, knee-jerk response and stuff. When you look at it and there's like 70 other cards that are better and cheaper for the same thing. So, yeah, I think Raven's Form will make an appearance, at least in sideboards. All right, we're getting down and close to death here. Problem with Apostle's Blessing at this stage against an aggro deck is we're feeling a little naked. Well, now, we've got some goods here. We're out of Snuff Out range because that's a vault and it isn't a swamp. So this is 4, that's 8, depending on what he pulls here. And we can just take 3 next turn. Let's go. We'll just attack here. We've already played a land. I could go for 6 here. Let me do this on this for this. Pay this. We'll say black for obvious reasons. Bloop. There we go. Now if he doesn't want to attack, we'll be all right. I mean, if he doesn't want to block. Okay, looks like we win. So Groundswell gets us a bunch of stuff. Bloop. And then we'll make it 10. Boom. Kaboom. Thank you for playing. All right. What should we call that? Grixis? Bergen's like, huh? What does that mean? All right. Win. These will be fast games, or they'll be long slogs where we try to top deck out of trouble. So we'd like to have some blockers early. We saw a Galvanic Blast, but I have a hunch that might be one of the only spells that we see. I'm going to lose one Blessing. I'm going to lose a Ranger. I'm going to lose one more Blessing. I think I want to bring in maybe some Augurs. We've got creatures coming through. Yeah, let me bring in 2 Augurs. And let me make it 3. We'll try that. Whoop. We'll leave the Lotus Petals till we feel what the mana's like. Feels like 18's enough just as is, but I know why. I usually like to have 20 lands access to. This is just kind of a way of shaving that, so you got to be really careful there. Keep blessings. You always seem to have a good sense of what to sideboard even without seeing much of their deck. Oh, thank you for that. It comes with age, and this bald head is my roadmap of successes and failures. We'll mulligan this. It's a pretty easy decision there. Yeah, we like this hand. What do we throw back? It's probably got extra stuff. I'll probably lose a Mamba here, believe it or not. We'll keep this. Get rid of a Mamba. 2 creatures with backup, and both of these is all right. Boop. We'll go from there. In Magic, I'm a lot like I am in chess. I'm an intuition player. When I get really serious in tournaments and I try to make like a Sunday run or something, I'll take meticulous notes of what I should and shouldn't do, but then I still weigh them against kind of what I saw and my hunches and things like that. You can always tell Little Fight, who I think he might have had to work today. I'm not quite sure. Hey, we got a nice little backer here. Boy, those grasping scoundrels like him that first turn, don't they? Always tempting to use Mutagenic to just as a little aha to, kill their dude, but yeah, they probably are leaning pretty heavily. You're right, PT Bobby, seeing that that's a pirate. We're going to take 2 anyway. Yeah, it's foolhardy to do that. We already have a mana, and we don't have Groundswell out, so I'm just going to trade here. I'm not going to use the growth. I'm going to save it for our dudes. I think they're leaning on the Cannonade play here. All right. Well, I'm going to wait on Mamba as long as I can because I'd really like to ideally have 4 for obvious regeneration reasons. We'll lead out with the Myr, who opened the show, if you saw that creepy little thing with the old Diablo music. Drac v. Pauper. Pauper is pretty light on playable pirates. Well said, and thank you for chiming in. Diablo Media. Are you using new Kaldheim cards? Not yet. We will be on Saturday, maybe. Not too thrilled with much of anything. I think like maybe one-ofs and Raven's Form, maybe. Wow, another pirate. When Sailor of Means enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Boy, that's got a big backside. Problem is, it's going to be a 0-1 if he blocks the Myr. That's if we let him block. I got to meet the creator of this deck, JherjamesB, at Pro Tour LA with Toothmaker and Nocturnal 32 in the chat. Got to have a nice conversation with him. Share some handshakes and real communication, not just all this digital stuff. So it was very cool to meet him finally. Alrighty. I think we're just going to smash in here. All right. We'll keep it simple. Boop. Just one. Let me bring out another one. We got some business end of the stick next turn. It's that 8, 9, 10. We got lethal next turn if he doesn't block. One of the most relaxing things about playing Infect is you just can care less about people playing Weather the Storm or Life Gain Lands or a lot of other things. Ram through is very interesting. I'd be tempted to run all of them main with a very heavy trample package. I know that was the first iteration of this deck when I was talking to JherjamesB. But this was the most recent one, and I'm like, hey, you know what? He plays a lot more tournaments than I do anymore. Tron has made me run away and hide. Well, I'm going to attack here and hope he just doesn't block. Going to have to lead off with Mutagenic so we can follow up with Vastwood, given that we have 2 black mana against us here. Okay, I think I'm just going to let this get in for 1. That's fine. Now, no matter what he does next turn, it's a bad move to block because we're going to have the Augur on our upkeep to trip. If he's got an Edict effect or whatever, we'll still be able to eat it with the Augur. But now, if he chooses to block the Ichorclaw, it's going to be bad times. Okay. So as an initial cast the spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Nocturnal use that at PTLA. What did he sacrifice? I didn't see him sacrifice anything. Pauper has such a huge card base as Toothmaker. It's hard to build around new cards. Small percentage are new. Yep, very, very true. That's why I think, I don't mean to come across jaded with that new card smell term, but it really is that way. There's such a vast card pool of things that already probably do what your new card that you like the shiny look of does 10 times better, but it doesn't have the new card smell. That's why I call it that. Okay. We got all kinds of pirates. Well, kudos for trying the pirate angle. I just don't know if, alrighty. The Fanatical Firebrand. I'm not sold on the Fanatical Firebrand. Yes, it has haste. I still like the old school Mog Fanatic in that you can just use it all the time. You can sometimes be stuck not attacking with this guy because you have to tap him to, do the sacrificial effect. Oh, he sacked the token. Thank you for that. I didn't catch that. Drac v Papa. One of the drawbacks of streaming here. All right. So he's going to do some shenanigans thinking he's going to respond to this. We'll do it on this guy. Whoop. He's going to do some stuff. Oh, he didn't. Okay, well, that's cool. We'll do that. We'll attack with both. Here we go. Old card smell. Yes, that's what I have. That's what my bedroom smells like. That's the smell. Go to a candle shop, be like, you got old card smell candles or incense? Right next to the meatball sub incense. Gonna get full time out of that Sailor of Means. Is he gonna let this stuff go through? He's gotta sacrifice that Firebrand to do anything here. Will kind of suck to have to use this on that. That has trample. That's 8. That will be 5, 7, 9. If I just let this die, I win here, right? If one goes through. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So instead of playing a little aha math, we're just gonna go all in on this guy. Because he has trample. Clomp. Gain all the life you want, pirates. Curvex 7 usually plays pretty standard staple decks, or not standard, I should say Pauper staple decks. It's nice to see him branching out, but I think he probably has access to 4 cannonades, and it was just one of those draws where you're like, are you kidding me? Where is this stuff? So let's not pat ourselves on the back too hard there. Yeah. Yeah, if you look on our community tab in YouTube, we have quite a few of our Kaldheim picks. I think we picked out 5 or 6 of them, but very spotty stuff. Just one of this, one of that. I'm actually interested in the longboat. I'm late. That rabbit from that book played Magic. What are we playing? Oh, Infect, my friend. All right. We've got the goods here, don't we? We don't know what we're up against, but we'll keep this hand. Roy Haynes, no, we're just in the tournament practice room. Haven't played many leagues lately just because of the Tron Menace. I'm just waiting for that ban to end, and we had such a bad ghosting problem when we were doing that it was getting very depressing. I think we were averaging like 60% of our shows were getting ghosted, and it just throws up some wonky results. All right, we're going to lead off with this. I believe we'll just drop this and go aggro here. No, Haruf, it's not. It's just you have to commit so much to it, and it's so egregiously overdue for something to be banned. I'm just tired of complaining about it. And it's not that hard to beat. It's just you have to so overload your board to do it consistently if you don't play the top, rock, paper, scissors decks. And so somebody that loves Rogue like me, it's like you've got to invest so much in the sideboard. I just love the format too much to go away, but this is my way of kind of keeping it healthy and giving people options outside of, I guess, the local meta. Alrighty. Here we go with this. Okay. Well, let's, you can't block with that Soul Eater. We have dropped a land this turn. We'll attack. What up? Well, thank you for that, sir. He's got that. That's 2, 4, 6. We'll keep him alive. Come over for 6. Keep him on the fear front. Oh, he's got us. Check that out. It's nice when that works. I'll let this guy play out just so you can see it. He's only got to get up to 10, which he doesn't really care about with it, versus a Infect. Boop-a-doop. Keeping the hope alive. Boom, perfectly dead. Love it. What a cool... Love when those kind of things work. We'll call that Rakdos Speed. Yep. And some of the wait times for the queues of the leagues are just obscene. I believe Gutshot would be pretty good here. I think I'm going to lose 2 blessings. We'll bring in all 3 weathers and 2 Gutshots. I'm going to lose a Petal and a Ranger. Now what? Maybe 1 Vastwood. I like this. Be able to kind of reset the board. We can at least deal with half of his combo that we've seen so far anyway. And we've got enough protection suite here. We don't want to go too far into the life gain thing, but Lotus Petal can help pay for that too, so in a pinch. That's nice. I used to play that Emolliting Soul Eater enter the deck when it was in Standard. Yes, if I was this guy, I would be running a Reckless Charge. We don't know. Maybe he is. That's a hell of a card for that style of deck. That's why I think Gutshot might be necessary here. All right, let's go. Oops, I just wrote down W. Somebody's overconfident. Good times. Yeah, I think that card's a little underplayed, actually. I think it hasn't been a... I think if it was just released, there'd be a bunch of decks that were actually pretty close to awesome that were being used and such, but... Well, we've got plenty of creatures. And we've got the Groundswell combo. Okay. You know, when I first saw this, I'll admit, if it wasn't JherjamesB with a 5-0 behind it, I'd be like, what? But I'm definitely seeing the perks of it. Blocker, Groundswell, guarantee, land economy, good times. Even if we're stuck at 2 on turn 3, we can still play Rotwolf with the Quirion Ranger's ability. And kudos to all of you that have joined me all 3 nights here. This is a little affiliate push. Do what you can to spread the word. I'd vastly appreciate it. All right. I'm going to max out here. I'll just do this. How goes it? Punk Toast 82 Doobie. I know I've never said that before. Awesome. Everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm actually going to attack here because they're using Phyrexian mana with that Soul Eater, and they might end up hurting themselves, and that might mean the difference of life and death there. So take what you can get, folks. Doobie. Okay. Now hopefully they're sitting on Diabolic Edict here, and this is going to pay dividends. Like, take that, sucker. Okay, we're feeling all right. Feeling all right. Let me go like this. I'll go like this. I'm going to float the mana first so that I can feign that I have something better than I do. We have played a land. Let's do this first. I can still regenerate it. We'll attack with both. Why not? Why not? Because you might have Reckless Charge. You just talked about that. But I have Gut Shot. Alrighty. He's at 5. This didn't help us last turn. Tough choice here. I'm going to leave this up to Toothmaker. Toothmaker, I'll give you like 10 seconds. Do I extend with Glistener Elf as Fear of Electricity or the Cannonade spell, which could wipe the board, or do I hold back on the Regenerate? I think I'm supposed to be patient here. I got to look up that word here. Let me look at my little dictionary here. Oh, heck, I wish I knew. All right, I'm going to pass the turn here and... like to keep my dude alive here. Patience. So there's a funny long-running joke you might hear me drop with Toothmaker. I call it Natience, which means like never-ending patience, and that's what Toothmaker has. And I'm always kind of, just jabbing him in a loving way. Here we go. I always had a coin on hand to flip if you can't decide. That's Snogglesworth. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm just going to play the wolf and pass. I guess you could take it to mean that, Toothmaker, but yeah, I always remember when a lot of you might not know, I cut the original Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings trailer, one of them. There was thousands of them across the country, and I was so thrilled to see it. And he was a big fan of the books, and I read them, but I don't know. That was one of the few times, at least the first movie, I thought it was better than the books, and then the books got better, but. I was like, you got to see this movie. It's really good. I won't say that about the next two, but The Fellowship I thought was really good. And he's like, yeah, I'll see it one of these years. And I'm just like, oh, God, what are you doing? I'm sure. Have you even seen it yet, Toothmaker? I'm sure you haven't. It'd be just like you to be like, oh, I'll get around to it. 100 years or so. Mr. Cryogenically Frozen Man. I did see it. Okay. Uh-oh. Here comes a critique. I can sense it now. Alrighty, well, mana's good. Book was better. I agree with you on all of them except Fellowship. I really thought that one went through well. Question, would Harvest Mage be good mana fixing, yes or no? If somebody could bring that up in the chat, I'd appreciate it. I think Shirazamon's probably asleep. I don't blame him at all. I didn't expect him to make one of these shows. He made like all of them. Very cool. I think I'm just going to attack here. Let's go. What in the world is a Harvest Mage? Yeah, I think that's the discard a discard a card and it gives something like +1 trample if I'm not mistaken. But discard a card if tap a land for mana, produce one. Yeah, I don't think so in this one. Cooper the Red, the famous jockey, showing up. Everybody's like, what is he talking about? You will know next week. I just got the VO from Folk Hero about an hour ago. He's very disappointed with it, which usually means it's amazing. Okay, we'll do this. That worked out well. We can kill that with Gut Shot if need be. A lot of people don't understand that infect damage is wither damage, so that thing is permanently a 1/1 now. Turning on our Gut Shot technology. Have I played a land this turn? Whoa, that's a lot of space, isn't it? I played a forest. I did. Okay. Kill that for screen real estate and keep moving. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I know better than when he says it sucks. It's usually like somebody else's home run, awesome, best, whatever. So, yeah. That's probably the only thing I don't like about your brother, Nocturnal. It's just that humility, and it's just like for humility's sake, it's like, oh, come on. Playing on Arena, I do miss the text game log. Yeah. This is Magic for adults. Alrighty, let's clear the way, shall we? Boop. You know, I'm a little depressed. Don't be concerned. I mean, weather-wise. It was supposed to be dumping rain exactly an hour ago, and I have yet to hear anything outside, so I'm starting to get a little crestfallen about that. Hey, what you gonna do? All right, let's go. Let's attack. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna attack for the win, I think. God, I didn't know we hit him for 7 already. Is that it? Okay, cool. Wow. All right. Oh, off to game 3. That's usually what this kind of style deck does. You get those blowout victories where you're like, holy crap, why isn't everybody playing this? And then you see why on game 2 or 3, sometimes it'll falter. Wait, maybe it won't this time. Who knows? I'm not sure if Weather the Storm's the right call here. I'm going to bring back in 1 Blessing since we're going to be on the play and not on the draw. He's going to be a little bit quicker out of the gates. I'd rather take 2 and be able to protect stuff. And keep in mind, Blessing's a very special card for a lot of reasons. Everybody can play it, but oh no, are we going to get that thing where our sideboard doesn't quite add up? But listen to this. Gains protection from artifacts or from the color of your choice. A lot of people forget that. So protection from that Emoliating Soul Eater or Kiln Fiend or Galvanic Blast, or you get the idea. Good times. Yeah, I think we could rock like this. Snogglesworth. Kid Clutch, affiliate time. Kid Clutch is my boy. Go check out his YouTube channel. If you like basketball, good commentary, or if you're of the under 30 persuasion, maybe. He's my boy. So much like me, he likes to edit, likes to do it all. So, got quite a hell of a channel. He passed up his old man a long time ago. I've thought about moving there, but I've visited a few times and loved it. Says, oh yeah. Yeah, Nocturnal, we need to move to Astoria and just pull a full-on, like, Goonies midlife crisis. Alrighty. We got 2 creatures. We got some spells. We're all right. We'll keep this. Hopefully we see an Emoliating Soul Eater and not the Kiln Fiend. Yeah, by the Goonies house. It's such a bummer. So the Goonies house in the movie The Goonies, forever, for like 3 or 4 decades, well, okay, I exaggerate, for about 2 decades, the owners, I think they had 2 or 3, would let people kind of come by on the weekends and whatnot, but they started leaving so much trash and garbage around that they just closed it off, and it was such a bummer. I think Tom went, though, didn't he, Nocturnal? All right. Simeon Spirit Guide showing up. We might have to just do a nice little chump block here. We can still kill it with the gut shot. Okay. I think it was Trev. All right. Yeah. So way back in like 93, 94-ish, we got these booster packs. Met at my house. Nocturnal, also known as Randy, my buddy Trevor and Tom all got together. And we played this card game called Magic. And I think the maddest I ever got at Trevor was him playing, Balance. And in a 4-player game, Balance is just brutal. And I remember just looking at the card going, it can't be that powerful. He was just sacrificing everything and everybody was dying. And it was just nuts. All right, let's kill the Kiln Fiend. All right. You know, I care more about the Ichorclaw Myr with a combat scenario deck, but this, I think, is only running 8 creatures. I would think. Maybe 12 tops. And it seems like they went all in on that strategy. So that leads me to believe that they might... Here we go, Toothmaker. Let's do the little old school Johnny Carson. Not that I'm that old, but I remember he used to try to guess the future. Yeah, I put him on like a Astro, the double strike card. Just waiting to draw that one more mana. Yeah. All right. I'll lead off with the Myr. Let's go. Fruity Pebbles combo deck. Uh-oh, he's got both mana activated. That's not good news. Good news is our Myr's still alive. That's awesome. Awesome. We like this. Let's attack. I love when I got Vines back up. You can just kind of be reckless here. It's like, what's that? Do we go all in for the one? I say we do. Put the screws to him. Let's see what he's got. Uh-oh. Oh, if I would have gone with Mamba there, that wouldn't have happened. Destroy an artifact creature. What are the other options? Attacking creatures get this, and target player list can't be blocked. That's a pretty good card. Hearth Charm for that style. Kudos to you. That sucks. That's like a time walk minus a card. That's pretty bad. Wah, wah, wah. That sucked. One of my favorite decks back when I used to play real cards at the Costa Mesa Women's Center with Toothmaker. We used to drive on the weekends to go out there. I had a compulsive research deck that had a switcheroo sideboard. It was a creatureless deck with an Izzet deck with it was pretty much counter burn, no creatures main, and then the sideboard was like all Flame Tongue Kavus, which we have Flame Tongue Hot Sauce commercial coming up later, and once they took out all their removal, I would just start smashing with those. I love that deck. That was so fun. And that other deck we always worked on together, Toothmaker, Meat Bucket. We had a thing for monikers, didn't we? All right, let's do this. And we'll drop the wolf. Drop the wolf. Drop the wolf. All right, you rules hound. You're right. But it makes sense in retrospect. The Soul Eater has entered the building. We are officially in trouble. We can untap target creature, so that is officially awesome. We will go like this. The Meat Bucket was a good deck, though. 2 Mind Slicer, sideboard, mono black control. I have the list laying around here somewhere. I used to do this cool thing where I would print up the card list as a text format that would fit inside of a sleeve of a Magic card. And I'd cut them out with some scissors and I'd store them. I'm so glad I did because now I can go back and just check them out. Very cool. If you all need any good soundtracks to play Magic to, The Queen's Gambit on Netflix has a about a 90-minute soundtrack on YouTube. It's really good brewing music. It's a very good series too. Toothmaker, I wish you could really dive deep into Pauper. It would be neat to see what you come up with, my friend. Like I said, closest bind I've met to my friend Toothmaker is my son, Aaron. Target but 2 of this can't be blocked this turn. Okay. I can't really do anything about this. Are we dead? It can't be blocked, folks. Oh, Punk Toast 82, you ought to check out our YouTube channel for we have the what is it, the Pauper County Fair. You ought to check that out. If Shirazamon is still around, or Toothmaker, somebody can find the Pauper County Fair YouTube spoof commercial video in our playlist. It has like 15 metal bands mentioned there, and so yeah, I know what you mean there. But yep, we're dead. Awesome, Frankie D. That was a cool way to lose. All right, guys, we're going to roll to our first commercial break, which is Pictionary. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Attention Pauperganda Knights! Show your love of all things Pauper with our Ultra Deluxe Playmats. And true to our Pauper roots, the glorious artwork is 100% free.
The accoutrement that you will need. Accoutrement? What is that?
Just send an email to pauperganda@gmail.com with the subject 1, 2, or 3, and we'll send you the playmat file for free. All you need to do is visit our friends at inkgaming.com. Order yours today.
And we're back. Woohoo! Yeah, check that out. We got all kinds of metal bands going on there. The Shredding Winds, Mortars of Ash, the Blastoderms. We will keep this. Lotus Petal. Yes, thank you, Tooth. Nice to have Johnny on the spot there. I don't think the little fight. I think he has work, and I think Shirazamon is dead tired. He's been up till like 3 or 4 in the morning every day with us. Alrighty, so the option here, I guess. We'll rock this, play this, and this is interesting. All right, I think we wait on this. Flame Slash. In the house. The mana doesn't match the mouse. Here we go, Taken 3. Be a little bit quicker night than usual. We're already on game 3. That's to be expected. Alrighty, given this mana base, I'm going to favor Apostle's Blessing. No, I'm going to favor, actually, let's call green on this. Boop. Got the answer? Okay. Wow, don't see that much. Oh, we still get it back. Ready? Boop. 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 Pump. 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 There we go. Hey-oh, says Pauper Tim. I still haven't heard any rain. This is depressing. It's supposed to be the storm of the century, and yet he gains. Come on, Randy. You are supposed to be this Colossus. You are this great legendary thing. And yet it rains. Or it doesn't rain. Already at 13. Can't be blocked, but it can block. That be true. That be true. Inconceivable. Here we go again. Sorry about that, everybody. Get two old timers together. We're going to start. Thought I heard rain. Our house is pretty well insulated, so I don't know if that's legit or not. I'm going to just hardcast the Mamba here. Okay, cool. I'll come on through. I can't tell if it's my computer fan or if it's rain outside. So we'll trade. We get that back. Flame Slash in the house. Got to keep that in check. I'll play this. Play it again. Play this. I'm not going to be able to keep that alive for tempo's sake, so that Flame Slash can eat one of these Mambas. Hopefully, unfortunately, it's a sorcery-based effect, so... See, Randy, little did we know way back then that our love of that movie would make me in like 30 years name a Magic deck, a game we didn't even know at the time. We would call it Brute Squad based on Andre the Giant. Well, obviously, if it wasn't called Ginger Brute and the movie wasn't called Brute, or, you know, the term wasn't Brute Squad, it wouldn't have come together. But Quantum has a funny way of working out, doesn't it? All right. What do we have here? Ouch! We're in deep crap here. Our opponent's hellbent, but whoo, man, we don't really have a threat. Well, this is depressing. Have fun storming the castle. All right. We'll feign some knowledge here, but we're dead here. Got 2 turns tops. There you go, Pauper Tim. You're in the spirit. His hands were massive. You know, it's funny, if you watch the documentary on that movie, Andre the Giant was in such poor health at that point. You think, you know, a giant, when she fell into his arms at that end scene, he actually had to have like a harness and all these things helping lower her, even though she was a, you know, pretty light woman. You would think you'd catch her no problem, but he was pretty messed up. Of one mind, hard casted. Yeah, we're not winning this one, guys. Take a miracle. Bye-bye. Such a great movie. It's been 24 years. I'm starting to lose confidence. Well, we can't win here because he's going to hit for 3, and then this just activates for 1. So we'll go to game 2. Boop. You are... good stuff. I'm just going to call that you are good stuff. All right. Any plans on making one of these 3 days? You've done a permanent fixture in your weekly schedule, says Nichols. Oh, my friend, maybe. I don't know if... I guess the short answer would be a greedy one. If, like, all of a sudden we just started getting crazy numbers. And the problem I'm seeing is, like, the saturation effect, right? So I'm always cognizant of that, and that's why I asked on that first night. It's like, hey, if I stream every night, should I upload every one of them, or is that going to oversaturate the market? Everybody unanimously was like, oh, you know, post them all. But of course, you know, the numbers are like this. obviously. I mean, it's just math. That's what I was thinking. So I don't know. I'll see over time. I will say that I'm not burned out at all. I feel like I could stream 5 days in a row easily. I think if I had a normal job, I mean, I am unemployed kind of at the time. I've got like some freelance work here and there. It's kind of spotty. So I think that's true of just about everybody in the world right now. So I don't know. It's I guess the demand's there. It'd be funny, 100 days, 100 decks. Just no repetition. Let's see somebody else do that, right? I bet I could do it. Okay, we're going to bring in Gutshot. Well, we saw Delver. I think he's leaning on more of like a almost miracle package. Get rid of 2 of these. I guess I'll bring in 2 of these. Tempted to bring in Weather the Storm though. Yeah, Nocturnal. That's pretty much it. Even it's funny you say that too, because when I did 2 days a week, every once in a while I'll just do an extra show, and it's like, I would just feel it. But I think in a selfish sort of way, not having a job helps. I mean, plus this new software I'm running is OBS Streamlabs has really come leaps and bounds since I last looked into it, and I have no complaints. It's really robust. Well, this hand looks great, except we're missing these little numbers in the corner. So we're going to mulligan this. And, of course, we get kind of everything we want. We'll have to keep this, but we're a little hoodwinked here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I really want to keep the extra creature. We'll throw back 1 mutagenic. Might be a mistake. We shall see. You know, maybe it'll be a thing like we might have like a week push or something where if I know I don't have anything coming up for a week freelance wise, maybe I can just go all in or whatever. But again, I don't really want to oversaturate it. And I feel almost guilty when I upload stuff and I'm like, here I am again. And I don't want to be that mosquito in people's ear. My kids are like, what are you talking about? People love that. I'm just like, I guess I'm just a little too old school to get it. I'm just going to put this here, expecting this Glistener Elf to die. Because I really want that Rancor to be on the Myr. What's the consensus in the chat? I mean, I'm a big guy. I can take it. It's like seeing stuff no matter what. Or, you know, can you get too much? And I've always been of the camp less is more, you know. Buzz. I don't know what that means, Cooper the Red. But thanks, I think. All right, we'll bring out this dude. We've got protection ×2. We'll smash in here and could come in for. Well, that's interesting. If people want your content, they will consume it, says Solson. Yeah, I guess I'm a little too concerned with rating it by view count, you know, like some of our videos after just a few days it's like at 2,000, which is nice for me. I'm just like, wow, I can't imagine that many people watching it compared to like in the old days it's like 300-400 and it would top out, and now it's like when I overload things it's like they tend to go back to that median. Damage or no damage? Well, that's gonna die anyway. I'll swing. Oh, into the river. That's interesting too. I think all opinions are valid on that stuff. I just, like I said, I've not only have I grown up that way, but I was bred that way as far as professionally in the movie trailer market. And I've edited stuff for 20 plus years, and not to boast, I've won all the awards and all that stuff. I was, pat myself on the shoulder. I was Pro Max Editor of the Year, and won a few. I've won 2 Emmys and things like that. And after a while, it all becomes just kind of background noise and stuff. But it indoctrinates you into like kind of what works. But that's the old model, and so I've got to always kind of ask myself, like, is that me just being kind of like the, for want of a better word, the grumpy old man? This is interesting. I think I'm going to let this go because I want the Rancor to be on the other thing, and I'll save this for the response of the counter spell on the next thing. So I'll let this through. Yeah, my kids were digging around in the garage a few years back. They're like, "What's this, Dad?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a trophy for something I edited a long time ago." Okay. We shall attack. Huzzah! I'm gonna stay patient. Kid clutch. I thought it was a gift. You got it too, kiddo. Brainstorming. I got him next turn. Outside of let's see, a cannonade. We can actually save both creatures. Apostle's Blessing one, Mutagenic the other. That's my eldest boy there, Kid Clutch 2K. Any of you are wondering? You ever take challengers from viewers? Of course, Stardust King 99. Send them to pauperganda@gmail.com. We very often will play Decklist from the public, and sometimes they say play as is or modify as you see and stuff like that. So it's all good times. Vapor Snag in hand. We'll open this up so you guys can all see. Psst. Little free info. The turncoat of Bolus. It's like, hey, boss, I got this secret. I'm going to let everybody in on it. Look at this. We got Vapor Snag. What are you doing, you fool? Yeah, in fact, it's funny. That's why White Infect became a deck, because somebody challenged me. They're like, I bet you couldn't make White Infect work. And then I 5-0'd with it. And it became kind of a thing. Now, I'll be the first one to say, right after that, there were like 3 or 4 outings where it crashed and burned, but it technically did 5-0 once. And I've had a few good outings with it. And the last time we played it, it went 4-1. It's getting a lot more powerful thanks to Benevolent Blessing, but I love me a challenge. Okay. How shall we roll with this? I think we're just going to attack with... I think we're going to go with both. Yes, I love Delthui Slayer Demos. Thank you for chiming in. Nice to hear from you. I try to brew around it all the time. Alrighty. This might get frustrating. We're going to go like this. Pay 2 life and call blue. Might eat red mana blast here. I doubt they're playing shock, so this is probably enough to kill it outside of our mutagenic shenanigans. MTM Tech, good job getting the reps in. Twitch Hopes Jumper. Yes, that is me for sure. All right, we're going to call blue as I slow down and try to stay on target, as Red Leader would say. Oh, Nichols, you got a little mini masterpiece in that white nickel. I'm actually thinking I'm going to play that on Saturday in 2 days. Maybe put 1 or 2 of those new Valkyries in it. I have a feeling 1 might be the right call after all the new card smell wears off. We'll see. All right, let's slow roll this. What kind of Infect player plays this slowly, right? Ouch! That was interesting. He let us take the damage. So think about that. It's like, well, okay, well, Apostle's Blessing is going to cost you 2 life rather than 1, and I'm still going to be able to kill it. It's like, oh, that's kind of a depressing board state. All right, it's dead. Well, we can at least keep our dude alive and kill our opponent here. Pop. All right, we're going to play this. We'll just go Hellbent, and we'll hope to death he doesn't have some sort of board wipe, because we've seen all of this goods. 3 cards in hand. It's all a mystery. We're all up in the air. We've got lethal next turn, so long as he doesn't have an answer, but they probably do. Yeah, I think if Tron wasn't around, White Nickel, we call it White Nickel out of respect for Nickels. And if you haven't checked out Pauperpedia on Facebook, should be your only one-stop shop for kind of everything that's going on. He really stays abreast of that, and it's very cool. So go make a note of that. Pauperpedia on Facebook. Very good watch. It's pretty much our only watch list. Okay, so I'm going to do a little feign here and pretend like we've got something awesome, and then we'll just attack here. Say like, oh, I got Vines of... Oh, I'm going to wait till they use a spell. That's the logic here. Frank did. Oh, yeah, I have a question. Why is it running Thermal Alchemist now? Why wouldn't they? It's a great card. I don't understand the question. Every single thing deals 1 damage. It's a good blocker. I could go on and on. Man, I wish Quirion Ranger could return any land. You could just bounce that thicket and cycle it. Good times. I think this is better as a mystery. I'm just going to keep it in our hand. Ouch. Snogglesworth is playing like a demigod here. This is just some crazy patience and foresight. Is that rain? I'm getting excited. Yeah, we're going to go to the original Kaldheim preview as our next bathroom break, which will be coming up next. And but don't go anywhere. I got other little cool spoofs behind that. So I use the facilities and get another libation of my choosing. I had coffee earlier because I wanted to stay up and listen to the rain all night. I missed it if you answered, Deluxe, but when you find it, I don't know. You know, my oldest was just chatting, Kid Clutch up above. He did it for like 4 or 5 nights, and he said he got a notification right away. There was no shenanigans, unlike YouTube, which I think really make you jump through a lot of hoops, and I was kind of mixing up the two. So, and kudos for Toothmaker keeping me honest on that and kind of kicking me in the butt and reminding me, hey, you know, you're only 1 step away from doing this. All you got to do is a few more days of that. And I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. Man, I'm just going to do this really confidently like we've got vines right behind it, but we don't. Oh, man. Well, it could be worse. That could be a lot worse. All right, let's play this. Okay. Dink. No sense in playing the other thing. We might as well wait on that if we have Groundswell. Oh yeah, Thermal Alchemist is just, it was nuts. Actually, I don't think I remember in recent Pauper history, which is what all this lack of hair represents, one card making a deck a deck. Meaning that burn was, you know, it would show up here and there. It was just kind of like a little, oh, hey, look, that surprised everybody this weekend, but now they're ready and it doesn't go anywhere. Whereas Thermal Alchemist, it turned every lightning bolt into a fire blast and fire blast into, gosh, what's a 5-mana spell? The miracle one? Hey, this is getting depressing quick. If these both flip, I've got like 2 turns. Play this while I got it, just for the blocker. There's no bluff potential here. He has to block because he's at 9 infect. I really, really need a infect here. There's no incentive to go forward here. Some would say that, Nichols. I don't see it. I take that back. That's valid. I have such a bias for how MBC is being built right now. Don't get me started. For such a creative game, it's always funny how stultified a lot of deck lists become. Like, you're not supposed to do that. And it's like, where was that written? Aren't we playing a creative game here? I think I'm close, Nichols, not to pat myself on the back, but I think it's more of the black burn angle where you just could care less about Gary and all the other goods. And man, oh, we're so close. We're so close. 6, 7, and a lightning bolt and an activation, and we're dead. Oh man, I wish that Thermal Alchemist was blue. Oh yeah, Dalthui Slayer Diamos. I vastly appreciate that over a Chittering Rat. It's a turn sooner. You can't block it. It has evasion. You have the same devotion argument. Hats off to you. Thank you for trying it. Yeah, no, I could see that big time. Or the Guild Mage. There's a lot of things. Yeah, Slayer is very underplayed. Oh, I guess I gotta slow roll this, guys. Man, oh man. All right. Sorry, Snogglesworth is the Pauperty champion. For those of you out of the know, we do a take on Jeopardy, but we call it Pauperty. And Snogglesworth, I think, is the 2-time reigning Auramancer champion, winning both tournaments pretty handedly. All right, this will be over next turn no matter what. Do these flip or not? Good. They don't. Good. Tap that Alchemist. Tap it. We can't block them anyway. I like this deck, Snogglesworth. Maybe we should play it next week. Who knows? Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. This is when you need that Lotus Petal so we can trip this for the right mana here. Yeah, totally Pauper Tim, Twisted Abomination, and Warren Pilferders. My son Sapphire had a really interesting point with the dual snowlands. You have to keep in mind that they say forest and mountain, so things like woodland elves can fetch them. So there's the benefit of that, but I don't think much else, given that you can normally gain life with the others. So let's assume we're at 7. These both flip, and we're dead. So we have to assume they don't flip. So we're at 7, 6, 5. Yeah, I just got to pull this off. 4, 3. We almost can't cast this unless we. Hey, ooh. Let's let this through. Nice pull, Nichols. That's right. That's a really good point, Nichols. I hadn't thought of that. I love when people say things I haven't thought of. Thank you. I know a lot of people think of me as kind of like the old man pauper or whatever, but I love to learn just like all of you do, so keep the ideas coming, because that's what it's all about. I've been wrong a zillion times. Can't wait to see it, Nichols. It sounds awesome. Alrighty. Hoo-wee. Oh, boy. This is it, folks. What shall we do? I got a feeling a Vapor Snag's waiting for us. Of One Mind is very interesting with Naya Rogues. We got that's human, rogue. It's an intriguing list, Snogglesworth. If I lose to you, it's a pleasure. Well, let's attack. Coming on through. Yeah, this last PCT was the only one I missed for like 4 months or something. It's crazy. Yeah, DMOs, that's a good card too. Very good card. Wow, okay. If I kill all of this, we only take 1 next turn. Okay. Let me do this and kill both of these. Okay, we're at 5. Wow. That's going to live. That'll kill that. And I can regenerate that. Take 2. I don't really want to go to the 3 mark. I'm actually going to go all in here. Seeing that he's at... we only have to hit him for 1. And I want to cut down all the resources he's got. So we're only going to be taking 1 here. So if he top decks a lightning bolt, that's the reason I did that play there. We can rock like that. And just for ziggles, we'll do that. I think we have to win 1 more game, don't we? We got 7 minutes left. I'm sitting here being such a chatterbox. Yeah, Diemos, my son would love to chat your ear off. He's got quite a few Golgari. Yes, the rain has arrived. 7:13 p.m., folks. It has hit the window sideways. Coming in hard. Love it. Oh, man. Must have 2 dead cards. I'll be happy to smash in here. Let's go. Let's do... I don't want to go down to 5. I will just neuter that card. We'll regenerate this one. And I'll be happy to trade here. That's fine. But I do want to have options in a double regeneration here. Is Randy still in the house, or did he go to sleep? Again, thank you for joining me, everybody, on Pauperganda. I know you got lots of choices on your little streaming issues, so I am so tickled that you chose this crazy old man to listen to. I'm not old by any means, but in Magic lore, I probably am. And here we go. Ooh, what shall I do? I'm going... Oh, man, if he's got a lightning bolt, this is so nerve-wracking. If he's got a lightning bolt, he just ends me here, and we've already seen 2 in the yard. He's halfway through his deck, so it's like a 50-50 scenario, right? Could go for the win here. What do you guys say? We go for the win? If he had bolt, he would have won. No, not yet. Go for the win, says Nichols. Go for the win? Yeah, let's go for it. All right, cool. You guys are a little more reckless than I am. Let's do it. I wish I had a Lotus Petal here. What's he got? Counter spell. Okay. Oh, we'll still attack. Go for it. Now we're just a sitting duck. You were all correct, I believe, unless we get bolted right now. And then you're all conspirators against the Pauperganda machine. Haroof. Uh-oh. What's the Augur of Lies going to tell us? Ah! Snogglesworth. You got me. All right. I'm going to go enjoy the rain for a few beats. We'll be back right after this awesome Snogglesworth. Enjoy Kaldheim previews.
This world is one of legend. Many realms, epic sagas, bound by one truth. Viking or Valkyrie, elf or dwarf, all belong to the World Tree. All are supplicant to the gods. Gods who travel between the realms to do their bidding for peace, for bloodshed, or for... What if there was a way to harness this power? A weapon with the ability to protect all. A weapon of pure strength, forged for a god. Or, in more creative hands, a weapon of unimaginable chaos! Who's ready for some fun?
Hey everybody, thank you so much to the people listed here. Your continued support means the world to me as we move forward, always inventing, always doing new things. It's just nice to have so many of you aboard. If you'd like to donate, please do so at the link next, and we'll see you next time.
And we're back. Snogglesworth, hats off to you. That was epic, awesome. Very nice top deck at the end there. I was playing in my outs there, and I guess I didn't do so well. All right. We are 1-2. That hasn't happened in forever. We'll keep this. Ah. Yeah, it was right off the Augur. It revealed our fate. Our fate was sealed. Woo. Hey, feelings mutual, Snogglesworth. I was just telling them, all the people that aren't in the know about your Pauperty championship status. Oh man, I almost get giddy when the rain comes in sideways and hits the house. I hope the mic's picking that up. I doubt it is. Yeah, the Auramancer Supreme. So I almost tonight, if I didn't make the Infect promise at the last stream, all 24 hours ago, I was going to show you my Simic Death Touch Ping deck, and I added white to it for Benevolent Blessing, and it's actually been doing pretty decently. Excuse me. So I'm not too worried about... what shall I do here? Let's get in some damage while we can. Come on through here. Hey, Super Pooper 23. Little fights in the house. All right. Where have you been, my friend? Good to see you. All right, in effect. Yeah, we're doing all right. Boop. Coming over for a half-life. Bam. Take that. Of course, it takes our turn here. Yeah, it's funny because we already have the trinket made, so it lets us fetch one of the ancient dens. And then we have the Ash Barrens, and so a little less counter magic. We still have the spells, but I might cover it in the next week or two. Depends. On the Infect. Yeah, we had an epic match against Snogglesworth just last game. We lost to him. Actually, we lost to him, so good job, Snogglesworth. And we had a really close game before that of Rakdos, and then we beat Grixis before that. So, all right. Okay, here we go. Well, come on, let's just drop a Vines and then we win the game, right? Oh, that's all right. I'll play our dude out while we've got the opening here. We're not facing off against any sort of damage-based effects, so I'm just going to get in while I can. Nice. He has to cast creatures here. We have a protection spell. Feeling pretty good here. Does someone have the deck list? Played Magic? Oddly, just built your White Infect deck yesterday. Yeah, we posted at the top of the show if Shirazman or Little Fight have that, or actually Toothmaker might have access to it if you scroll back far back enough. At the very top of the show I do that, but if not, it'll be in the chat. Or I'm going to lose 1 and 1. Actually, I'm going to lose 2. Blessing. I'm going to keep the Vines for the obvious reason of the boost. Not quite sure what we're up against here. Let's keep it as is. We'll see what comes. Lotus decks, you had me at Lotus Petals. All the credit goes to JherjamesB. Literally, this is like our fourth match, and this is the 4th match I've ever played with this 75. We have 2 creatures. A little bit of a slow roll here. We're on the draw. We've got a pretty devastating combo here. I think I'll keep this. It's right on the border here, but I don't want to mulligan it and get to 1 land or too many lands and such. So I've got to get that deck list feature working. I still can't get that thing ironed out. This is getting better all the time. We'll drop this in case of some sort of edict shenanigans. Yeah, we only do it on the weekend at Kaczynski, but this is, as our card frame says here, day 3 of our, we did Tuesday, Wednesday, and tonight's the last night, Thursday, Twitch affiliate push. Trying to, it's been been online like 5 years now, and finally thinking about maybe hitting that because we've hit all the other parameters, so only made sense. I'm unemployed right now, so it's pretty easy to do. Any little bit people can help out with their Twitch Prime memberships is all the good. And if we ain't worthy, that's cool too. It's all good. But I just want to know that I tried at the end of the day. That's where it's at. But yeah, I think we're hitting our kind of a viewer record right now, and it seems to get better every night. I honestly, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I expected, I'll probably get like 5 or 6 viewers, and been pleasantly surprised every night. Ooh, didn't see that coming. Sunlance, Maine, nice. We'll try to, a couple times a year, we'll try to kind of surprise people with little streams and stuff like that. But in the chat right now, what would be sooner, later? Is there a consensus we can gather? It's pretty hard when it's given a worldwide, sort of reach like this, but what you gonna do? I'm suspecting counter magic here. I'm just gonna attack just out of habit's sake. What do we have here? Mole Drifter. Here we go. Filling up the Pauperganda mug. Good times. All right. I'm going to get some Rancor on that. And probably just... I can't really win here, but we might get close. We'll feign weakness. Hiya! Rotwolf. Yeah, I'm West Coast Spice here. Just saying I would totally buy a Pauperganda coffee mug into the river. I would too. My son just downloaded our logo off the web and made it for me for Christmas. And it was like kismet. The very next week, my mug that I've used for like 10 years cracked. I dropped it and started seething. Boop. I'll go like this. Come over for 8. Wish it was more. And we have we had our little store in the chat there, but it's ridiculous. After they take their top end and stuff, you end up paying like $30 for like some silly porcelain mug that you could just make yourself from Costco or some other generic store like that. So yeah, we'll see. White. So we protect our dude. He'll do this turn. This deck has teeth. You know about Devin Nash? No, I don't. Kaczynski, send me an email, pauperganda.com, if there's something we need to know about that. Destroy an artifact or enchantment. Well, that's kind of funny. Comes right on back. Oh, boy. We put it on this. I'm not going to attack. My hunch says attack. Even though we're kind of naked here. Well, we can kill that. We can block that. Yeah, I like this. Boop. We'll draw some cards. Get our Rancor back. Be a creature. All right. Good times. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. Here we go. I'll take your 4/4 and neuter it to a 2/2. No, don't be something good. Is this a Mole Drifter into another Sunlance? What year is this? 2005? Yeah, but maybe, you know, now that I know that it's not that difficult to stream every night and such, maybe we'll make it a biannual thing or something. We'll have a little, like, a week straight of Pauper and stuff. I just don't want to overdo my welcome, you know. I think I can come up with a deck for every day of the year, but I just don't want to... All right, so that's 5. One will get through. Both will die. Yikes. I think we wait here for a trick. I mean, we kill both of their things. If we attack here, they kill ours, and we get them to, you know, one more infect, but I'm going to pass. Dang it. Feels like the story of the day with this deck. It's just like little half tempo, half card off. Careful not to be intoxicated by cards like Explore and such when the game hits a null state, meaning there's, you know, a lull in the activity and such. A lot of things can feel a little overpowered when the perfect scenario is established, but for the most part, you keep that curve low, and you have every card in your deck you want to see in your opening hand. If you want to brew like I do. Speaking of Lotus Petal, boy, that's a dead draw, but so are these. But I'd rather play this in case we have a Apostle's Blessing that we need and we're at like very little life. All right. It's a little relaxing too, playing a deck that I know 5-0'd, so we know it can get there. I mean, any infect deck can. But you know what, guys? If this one loses, I'm going to show you my 5-color infect list. Nothing to sneeze at. I think it's just as fast, and it has access to Unearth and Reckless Charge. Yeah, Growth Spell is pretty cool. Yep, I said 5-color infect. All right, we're coming in. Not that hard to do. This coming from the guy that made Creatureless Infect. Okay, what do we want to kill? Lots of stuff. I guess we'll go like this. All right. We'll do this. We'll pay the mana this time. Bonk. Yeah, it's a nice infect way of Wrath of Godding. Of course, we don't get the Monarch. Blue gets banned a Monarch, and it still gets a creature out of the deal. That costs as much as everybody else's. It's not a 2/2, by the way. That's an infect wither counter on it. Yep. Actually, I think I actually had the balls to go into a full-blown tournament with Creatureless Infect, and I think I got a 3/2 with it. Just to kind of prove my point. Yeah, apologies for that. Played Magic. Looked into that, and it always seems like it's an arena thing, but I've seen other people on MTGO do it. So if anybody knows, please send us an email at pauperganda@gmail.com about how to just get our deck list loaded so people can just kind of bring it up. That would be a really cool feature to have. One of the top ones I would like to have. Don't mean to sound like a Luddite, but this is slipping away fast. Our opponent's at 7 cards. They're drawing 1 every single turn. We're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a turn. We got 3 turns left. I'll give it 1 more turn, and then we're going to scoop. This is, we'll call it Bant Control. And in defense of JherjamesB's list, we've seen nothing but like rogue lists. If this was the metagame, maybe this would be a little bit more in our favor. But that's what makes Pauper so great. It's just a storm cauldron of awesome ideas. Yes, Super Pooper. Sunlance is doing some work, that is for sure. I don't know what that means, Kaczynski. Alright, we've got an option here, if it can live. He knows we've got this, so we might as well just play it. Alright. His entire board is blue, so we can just call Blessing on blue. It's the best thing he can bring back here. There's not... What, Sunlance, I guess? Yeah. It'll probably be Sunlance. Let's open up the game log. Pulse of Marasa. Okay. You gain that life, boy. Conclave Naturalists. Yeah, that'll suck. Now he's probably going to get Sunlance. Yes, Snogglesworth, that's a very good plan. He drops a only green creature, we're in trouble. Otherwise we might be able to win, but we've already seen the green creature show up, so. Hiya! And we got to use it now. Darn it. We'll say white, so we stay alive a little bit longer. Boop. We'll do this. Call green. As we... Okay, we'll just concede here. Boop. Arnaud, very cool list so far. Impressed. Graveyard Shenanigans. Fortunately, I think we're kind of set that way. I'm going to take out the Groundswell Quirion Ranger package. We're going to go with the Augur Hunger Pack package. Where's our Groundswells? Did they stick in by here, or did they... Oh, there they are. It's strange how it moves over there. Ram through might be pretty good here. We're going to bring in 2 of those. Lose 1 and 1. And actually, I'm going to go like this with this. Here we go. So if we win, we'll keep playing JherjamesB's deck. If not, I'm going to end the last game with our 5-color infect. I say 5. I think it's only 4, but it has access to 5, obviously. So yes, like I said, it's always awesome to lose to Rogue. If you're going to lose, you might as well lose to Rogue, right? We all lose. Here we go. That rain's not coming down hard enough for me, I tell you. What card in the last 5 years that isn't banned do you think has the largest impact on the meta? I have to give that one a little bit of time there. My knee-jerk response is Winding Way. For 5 years. Even Delver's older than 5 years. Okay, blockers out of the way. Cannonade. Yeah, Spellstarter's like 12 years old. I like this because I can still get in. We've got the regeneration backup. Regeneration, nothing. I mean, Apostle's Blessing. It's something like that. For me, it's like when I think something's like 5 years old, it ends up being 10. That's the problem with getting old. You keep time walking yourself. Alrighty. Play that on that. I'm just going to double attack here. Bit of a chancy roll. I'll rock like this. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. What am I doing? We'll just regenerate it. Actually, Snogglesworth, I might say Thermal Alchemist. Again, if I had like a day or two to mill it over, I'm sure I could come with like a definitive, like I could argue it, but those are my two knee jerks. And I've been drinking too. My little IPA over here. You get me caffeinated on Saturdays and a little bit hoppy on evenings. Alrighty, well, we have no fear. Let's get out of here. Hiya! We could care less. Here we go. Let's just... Whoopsie. Sometimes I like to take other people's lists out as is, as kind of a illustration of my frustration sometimes when I really pour over a list and I put tons of research and time into something, and then everybody's knee-jerk response is, yeah, I really like that, but I did this, and then it lost. And it's like, well, play the deck as it is, man. So I didn't change a single thing here. But we've been facing a lot of non-typical lists, so take it as you will. If we can get some trample here, we should be able to pull this off, but until that happens, Maybe a little bit naked. Here we go. Attack. Well, I guess I'll just regenerate this one and hang out. I'm just playing the numbers game here. No, Super Pooper, I don't. You have to, and that was my big, whenever I brew for Infect, you need to understand, it's like saying if you cut Fire Blast out of Burn, would it be dead? Of course not. There'd be other options for it and stuff. Now, it puts it over the top, and there's some, home run auto wins that happen with it and stuff, but that was my whole thing with Infect. Everybody was so quick to write it off like, it's dead, because 4 out of 60 cards aren't there. Well, there's plenty of times that you could play Infect with Invigorate, and you don't draw it. Does it make it a bad deck? No, it's still there. Again, I have a little bit different way of looking at things. I know Littlefite says I'm a bit on the spectrum, and sometimes I don't disagree with him. Alrighty, here we go. This is aptly timed, huh? Let's read this real quick. Target creature is going to deal damage to control. Well, that's interesting. Don't we just have this here? What is this attack here? Sorry for the mic hit. Mic bump. We'll reduce this. We'll do this to this. We'll say blue. Gonna get 2 more cards back. But don't take my word as gospel. I've been wrong plenty of times. A lot of times people are hurrah the deck I made and, oh my god, look at this. And it's like, yeah, I got plenty of things wrong in the meantime. I'll be the first one to say it. Approach the metagame like a child looking at a rainbow. Just be in awe of everything, and don't be so narrow-minded to just I know I get on this a lot, but it's the chittering rats thing. It's like, you're supposed to do this, and it's like, no, look at the tapestry, look at everything. Well, we just have the win here, don't we? Unless he's got some fog effect. So we just call blue here, right? Boop, boop, boom. I have plenty of tapestries, Bergram. We will attack. We'll do the thing that doesn't hurt us right now. For the win. Boop. Thank you for that, Toothmaker. All right. Well, we won. So what's the consensus? Do we finish this out? Because I said if we lost, I would show you the 5-color infect. Do you guys want to see this again, or do you want to see 5-color infect? I'll put it to a quick little vote here. I just think people get a little too stultified in their thinking. Adults are very, very bad at that, where it's just, this is supposed to be the way it is. And it's like, just relax. Look at everything. 5-color, 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 5-color. All right. Geez. Let's explain it first here. Let me go find it because it's down here a ways. ordered these in the list that I kind of want to play them. So I think I called it Infect Deluxe or something egocentric like that. Let's see. Is this it? This is it. Okay. We got 20 lands here, folks. Let me open up the blankety blank. Boop. Before I do that, give you a little quick lesson on aesthetic etiquette. Has anyone ever said that in history? Here we go. All right, so we've got 2 Kahani Gardens, Holdout Settlement, 3, 6, 8 forests, 4 Crumbling Vestige, and 4 Cave of Temptations. There's a lot of colorful flexibility here. We got 4 Unearth, 4 Reckless Charge, Abundant Growth draws a card. Done. We got the Glistener Elf. We got the turn 1 goods. Good. Seal of Strength. Almost as good as Invigorate. You set it and forget it. Like any seals, you go for it. Unbridled Growth. Again, draw a card. You can just tap it, draw another card. We've got Vines of Vastwood to protect our investment. Because of that, we can always get it back with Unearth, and then we can Reckless Charge it. Blighted Agent comes in. We've got Ichorclaw Myr. Oblivion Ring takes care of journeys and such, and this is our little answer for any sort of Tron effects. In our sideboard, we've got Mask of Law and Grace, 2 drops, 2 aerial volleys, a Verdant Longbow against Tron and fairies and such. Weather the Storm for burn, obviously. Our card of choice against other aggro decks, Moment's Peace, 2 Pulse of Morosity to stay alive, and 2 more Oblivion Rings. This looks like a mistake here, but I left this as I found it, so yeah, this is a pretty sweet little build here, but we'll see. Maybe I will play 2 games with this. We'll see. As I scroll down here and try to find it. Excuse me. Y'all. Berggren, I can't believe you're still hanging out. You're such a sweetheart. I can't tell you how happy that rain makes me. Just hear it outside. Oh, here we go. Woo! If we win, that'll be it. If we lose, I'm going to try to have a little caveat and be like, hey, wait a minute. Here's one more reprieve from the governor. Alrighty, here we go. We would like to play first. We would like to win first. We have no creatures. That sucks. We're going to mulligan this. We have a creature. We're good to go. And we can recall it and shoot it. So we'll keep this. Given our colorful land persuasion, I think we're going to have to throw back a forest. Say done. Toothmaker, you're never going to let me forget that. Doesn't even sound like something I'd say right now. Come on, opponent. It's what it's, yeah. I know a lot of UFC fighters keep saying, it is what it is. It's like, can you say a more hollow sentence? It's up there with basically. No attack key. No disassembly. Toothmaker, well said. Exactly. Okay, what's going on here, dude? Are we playing or not? What's going on? This guy's taking like a minute and a half to look at his cards here. Are you there? I don't know. Let's put in a question mark here. Anyone there? We've given up like 2 minutes. Okay. That was pretty boring. Let's see what we can do with this next one. Boop. Hello. Of course, we can't. We're watching the game. Let's create a game. Effect Deluxe. All right, here we go. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes people, maybe they're going to the restroom. I don't know. I have not, from St. Vincent, played Magic. What is it? I know I mentioned this last night, but everybody out there, if you've got anybody that is really after Magic cards and wants to buy a booster box at Kaldheim or whatever, go the extra mile and just go support RIW Hobbies out of Lincoln. They're just one of those stores that just really trying to make a difference in the community and stuff. They're just John Wilkerson's like the main dude there and quite the sweetheart. Gone through a lot of tragedy recently and really good place to support. Okay, here we go. Is it going to take 3 more minutes of our time? I don't know what this guy's deal is. I'm going to give him to the 24 even, and then I'm going to quit again. Gotta run, Pauper team. Happy infecting, Toothmaker. Thank you for joining me, my friend. You are screwed, and you shall remain screwed. What's this guy's deal? Does he just like show up and try to just kill streams? Game froze up. Wrong deck. It's definitely not tier. Okay, well, we'll keep this. We're definitely not tier either. Probably the worst combination we could see, but we have Unearth, so we'll be all right. Famous last words. Let's sneak out our dude here. Boop. Good thing about playing Unearth here, we can just kind of play a little wantonly, which means recklessly for you non-Westerners. Boy, that's a beautiful swamp, isn't it? Look at that. All right. What's he choosing? Death. I play this all the time. If I say torture. Torture. Alrighty. We'll hit for 4. Well, it's tempting here to use the Reckless Charge because it has flashback. I think that's the right play here. We'll do this with the Vastwood backup. Need you to make a mono white bordered deck just for your Pauperganda. The only white bordered card will be Chittering Rats. Oh, Pauper Tim. I could slay you, my friend. Yeah, you could call me a card-bordered racist. I hate white-bordered cards. All right. Let's go. I'll kick it. Don't make it all white border. 50% of lands black border, and then make sure all of the art is mismatching. You need to hang out with Nocturnal 23, Toothmaker, and Little Fight, because y'all could just take jabs at me and poking fun and all that stuff. My goodness. Put me into an early grave, my friends. My friends? I know it's all in good fun. I remembered my napkin from my water nose. Well, hell, if I can just get past the blue card, I'll be all right here. All right, there we go. I'll put it on this. Draw a card. Hey, that's pretty cool. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. Let's go. Boop. Check this out, y'all. Black gets us that. Boop. And then we're going to go like this and this and this. Get this. We got Unearth behind that with Reckless Charge in the yard. You starting to see it? Deluxe dies from a heart attack after seeing one too many white bordered cards. Yes, that could happen. Wouldn't that be a funny fate? 5 CC win. What is this? Demir? All right. Boop. So we saw Tyrant's Choice and a few other things. We've got Mask of Law and Grace, which has protection from black and red. The top two options. We're not going to need Soulsfire. We're not going to need Oblivion Ring, so that really liberates us. We're going to bring in 2 of the Mask of Law and Grace. Let's see. How many colors are we running? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wasn't lying. Stuff's going to die. We're going to need Moment's Peace, probably. I think we bring in these. Yeah. Let's see how it works. We should call this the Infect Summit. Oh, the Infect cards. Captain Nita. We're on the draw. We have a 1-2 play, so I like that. And any sort of, we have quite a few, I think 12, actually 16 colorless options. I mean, colorful options, so I'm going to keep this. All right. We'll drop the Intimidating Seal of Strength, which with the 1 power toughness ratio equals about half our opponent's life total. Wipe Nose to give Origami Golem Menace and Unblockable. Yeah, I apologize about that. It's just a thing I've got. I had it even when I worked in radio. I would just tend to do that. Actually, I'm going to slow roll. I don't know. Should I slow roll this? We don't have access to a graveyard. We are going against black. They probably have removal, so that suggests that I should wait, cast Seal of Strength, and just sit back. But if they're sitting on a counter spell, I'm going to lean on a little bit of the other side. Yeah, for the record, my nose isn't runny. It's just, sometimes I just get that little water drip. All right, we take 1. All right, glad they're tapped out. We're going to have Vines of Vastwood back up. Now, if we draw like Crumbling Vestige or something, we're going to have quite a turn here. Hold out Settlements, nice. Do we need it, though? I will... I'm going to play this first. We can play this next turn. We could play it right now, but then we don't have really any backup for edict effects and such. I mean, we don't really right now, but I'd much rather lose the Ichorclaw Myr over the Blighted Agent because it's unblockable. So, yeah, it's a pretty common thing, but I don't really get nerves. I had a background in theater and did quite a few productions and stuff, and so I'm not very camera shy, but by the same token, I think there's something that's left over there that just results in that. When it enters the battlefield, you have a creature get -1/1 until the end of turn. Okay, well, that kind of sucks. This makes the most sense to use on this. It's not a negative 1/1 counter. It's just till the end of turn. So boy, that range sure isn't impressive yet. I'm not. Can't be blocked. Flying. This is frustrating. Boy, they go all out every turn, don't they? Look at that. It's an interesting take on Chid 3's design, isn't it? Now I got good times. Had I a extra land there with the reckless charge, this might have been the game, but yeah, Snogglesworth, you'd be surprised how many times this deck wins with that, but and I haven't really scrutinized my list. I just loaded what I had last done a few months ago, and so it might have been in a drunken stupor. I don't know. I think that's the correct play, given that we have Vines of Vastwood in hand. Bruise equal bruise, Super Pooper. You get it. Okay. Wow, we're at 5 already. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to pull this off this turn. Yeah, we can get this. It's not that big of a deal. We can pull this off here. We can do this here, go like this. That's 8. As you can see, if we had anything else, we just win here, but he's going to get us here. Even if they don't block, it's just like there's nothing here. So we'll put an L there and we'll go to game 2. Card's such a house though, because that's like 6 damage, which when it's infect, it's 12. So you're paying one mana and then 3 for access to 12. It's pretty nuts. All right, we'll go to game. A lot of 1-drops. Starting to get this. This is Chid 3's list with blue draw and some utility behind it. It's a nice touch. Might be relevant. Let me do 1-on-1. There we go. There you go, Pauper Tim. Very nice. Agrogues. That's great, Super Pooper. Yep, I would like to play first. Can we win first? That's the secret. This is pretty land heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although we have access to everything. Yeah, let's keep. Hard to say no to a turn 1 Glistener Elf with backup. If our opponent hiccups at all, we at least have him half dead. There goes that plan. Now we're top decking. At least we have an answer. Boop. Gain 6 life and get our dude back. That's the modus operandi right now. Keep that around for edicts. We are dealing with a black deck here. If you tried brewing with Infect Proliferate, yep, that's what our creatureless Infect was all about. I'm going to keep this for a reckless charge hand. We'll EOT the Glistener Elf and hope for the best. I wouldn't say it's great, Pauper Tim, but it's decent. If you're really committed to it and you're very focused and you've had no gin and tonics, you stand a chance. But mostly because it's so aloof, people are like, what on earth is this guy playing? Okay. Alrighty, we got a little opening here. We'll do this. Not the ideal target, but we'll take what we can get. We won the first game, we lost the second game. Here's the third game. See how this goes. Really wish I had a reckless charge here, but we've got Vines of Vastwood, so we can at least enter some sort of hate. That fourth bridge Prowler is really chewing us up because it's asking us to use our offensive cards defensively. At least we have Edict Insurance. Okay, I'm going to turn it into some ninjas here. What's going on? Nope. All right, sweet. That's good times. Check that out. Those are rogues. I forgot about that. Nice call, roll face to win. This is curious. Next turn I might be able to do that, but it's very famous and fearless in Brazil. Oh, thank you, Stark77. I don't think I deserve that, but appreciate it nonetheless. Brazil and Italy are just hotbeds of pauper. That's craziness down there. Love it. I'm gonna have to visit your country one of these days. Look for the bald white guy. I guess we're just gonna hit here. I appreciate the props nonetheless. And I am in awe of your bilingualness. I'm an idiot when it comes to languages. I can't imagine speaking more than 2 or 3 in many cases. It's crazy. You guys are awesome. Pauperganda. It's to you, baby. Stark77. Where's the BR in your name? I'm used to seeing everybody from Brazil have a BR after their moniker. Okay, well, here's the deal. We'll do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So many cool land arts from our opponent. But why aren't they matching? Snogglesworth, you just have my number, don't you? You're after me, I tell you. Might as well just let this through. Okay, I guess not. Boop. Alrighty. This deck still hasn't really performed for all of you. I mean, ideally you get that unearth reckless charge draw, and it's just like win from out of nowhere, so it's pretty cool. It's a summon of insanity. 14, here we go. Man, where's the rain? God, that was like a 20-minute, and that was it. Okay, we're at half our life total. Our opponent has only taken 1 infect damage, so this isn't boding so well. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm guessing I'm just going to come through here. Can't take too much more of this. It's a very interesting idea from our opponent here. I'm a little jealous I didn't think of it. Dimir Rogue Chid 3 style, right? All right. I'm not really going to attack with that, so I'm okay losing it because we have the plant token, so I'll let that go. Unless it's just sprinkling heavily outside, then that's probably something I'm just expecting. Like, they made it sound like it was just going to be crazy downpour. So if you've caught on to it, we tend to, at the end of the night, I'll upload, but then I let it gestate and pre-visualize whatever the other YouTube monikers are. And in the morning, then I make artwork for it and I post it. So this will be available probably, I don't know, 10 a.m. on Friday morning. Not that anybody will want to watch it if I don't win here. Last few have been all 4 1s, but this looks to be a win, loss, loss, win, and who knows. Okay, here we go. Maybe this will be, who knows. Boop. We have every mana here. Three mana? Sure. Okay. One, two, three. Well, that doesn't work, does it? Trying to think of the best case scenario here. It doesn't work with what the mana I have here, so it's best to just attack and pass the turn. Since we have Holdout Settlement out with a plant token, I will trip this at the end of turn. I hope you can weather the storm. Nice. It's one of my favorite commercials we've done. Hopefully Saturday. I'm not making any promises, but I think I might be able to have that commercial done since I have the whole day tomorrow to work on it. I kid you not, though. Most of those commercials for Pauperganda are 3 or 4 day endeavors, like between the graphics and the music and the VO, and there's just a lot of stuff that goes into it. And it shouldn't look like anything goes into it. That's the point, right? Okay, we can't block anything, so we might as well take it all. My daughter's fence blew over with all the wind. Going to have to fix it when I go. I see. Played Magic, well said. Yeah, that makes my day thinking somebody just has this I don't want to diss anybody, but like a corporate gig or kind of a, you know, like, oh yeah, go through the motions, and, you know, it's like you're just binging on Pauperganda. It's like, I hope I can do that for a few of you. Syscom says, hey, just want to drop by and say hi. Hi back at you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. As we're attempting this weird, strange 5-color infect brew. It looks like we're going to lose here. If that happens, we will play one more. Try to flush this out and see if there's anything worthy. Where are our reckless charges? Where's everything? We can't block that. We're going to submit here. We're going to concede. And we will go to a game 6 with the same list. Here we go. Create. If we lose this one, we lose this one, and then that's it. But oh, come on, it's the same guy. I don't want to play this. I already lost to this. That doesn't make for good TV. And are we going to get spammed, or is he going to get the point here? Chang Arena Mobile. Nice. Just switch to play Pauper someday on the platform. Nice win. I already quit, didn't I? Bonk. All right. Let's see if anybody else opens up, and we will try to attempt this here. All right. Okay, then. Create. Problem is, they're probably playing something that's super biased towards infect. I mean, I doubt they would just be like, hey, this is really bad against infect. Kind of like this. We've got access to every color, and we can unearth this. We'll keep this. Alrighty, we'll just ramping our abundant growth this. Boop. Here we go. And Randy/Nocturnal32, thank you so much, my buddy, for joining me 3 nights in a row. Bergeron right back at you, especially Bergeron, because he doesn't even know what the deck or what we're playing against here. Good times. So we can play this Blighted Agent kind of like carelessly, because we don't really care if he's going to spend his turn killing it, because we can just bring it back with Unearth. And then this happens. That's good times. All right, we're going to say blue and this, and we go like this. Problem is, we don't really have any amplification here. Here I thought I would go long show, medium show, short show. And instead we went long show, longer show, super long show. Sometimes it's fun too when your creature's dead. If you just sit on reckless charge and you just wait on that Unearth, you're like, ooh, I gotcha. You feel like Roscoe P. Coltrane in the old Dukes of Hazzard movies, like, goo, goo, goo. Whoa. Outburst accepted. Get him, Flash. Good times. Well, let's do this. We're gonna see. Boop. I'll just make this red. Your fans can't get enough, says Light magic. We can protect it. We can bring it back. We can make it stronger. Yikes. That's a whole lot of damage. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And the bushwhacker, we're dead. Yeah, this is a pretty good deck against Infect / I'm playing another deck. Oh, I think so too, Sir Mr. I like that. It's like, no, I'm playing another deck. It's like, now that I know what you're playing. Well, let's see. We've got, we're going to take 5. Any direct damage and we're dead. Reckless charge gets us close to killing him. Cost 3 to flash back. That sucks. I'm not going to be doing this anytime soon. Let's draw a card. That's really weird. Sure, let's do this. We'll draw a card. Maybe they got 2 islands. I don't know. Let's attack. It'd be probably, what would you call it? Kismet if we crashed and burned here, because we've had 2 4-1 outings, 3 4-1 outings before this, so it's about time we crash and burn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I block 1, it doesn't make much of a difference if he's got bolt, so we're just going to accept it. Come on over, sucker. Booyah. Lightning bolt for the win. Probably. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to bring in here is Mask of Long Grace, which is protection from black and red. Weather and Moment's Peace. Let's see how far we can take this. We're going to get rid of Soul's Fire, Oblivion Ring, 1 Unearth. Gotta get rid of 5 cards. Let's get rid of 1 Moment's Peace, 1 Pulse. Yeah, weather can probably go away. But just stick with Moment's Peace here, maybe with the Protection Suite, perhaps. We'll get rid of 1 Growth. Let's go. Up. Exactly. It'd be pretty pathetic if somebody stream snipes on a matchup that doesn't really matter, but what are you going to do? I always thought that was pretty pathetic when leagues were a thing, but apparently it happened so often it was worthy of stopping. Mulligan. Mulligan. Where are our creatures? We can draw, but if we don't draw a creature, we might be dead in the water here. But we kind of have the answer here. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to get rid of this. Just going to hope for the best. Done. Here we go. Come on, creature. I haven't seen that in for ages. I have a creature there. Volume is going to overtake us if we can't really rein this in here quickly. We'll do this. We'll call this on red. Might still lose depending on volume, or if he drops a Slatter or a Raider here. You can just kind of go around sort of thing. Seems like a roadblock right now, but against a deck that goes wide, this isn't the greatest thing. I'm so used to playing Magic and Glorious 1080p that I'll probably shrivel up and die for playing on my tenant phone. I'm the same worth Snogglesworth. It's like, invest. Do it. I'll just hit here. 1 moment's peace next turn. The flexibility of all colors allows you to take advantage of all colors, but it also slows you down enough to sometimes be a bit of an issue. I think we'll just let this through. Okay. Kind of waiting for a trick there, but I guess there isn't any. Four damage to any target. Target is me. All right. Cool. I guess I could have Cannonade, but that I'm still saved from it, so I might as well do this and make him get a little bit desperate here. We win next turn unless he plays something that's not black or red. Yeah, you're right. Snogglesworth. I can still block with a plant. That's a wee bit scary. Okay. Really want to see Bushwhacker here, so they kind of go all in on the go wide strategy, and we can at least stultify it for a bit. Nope. Okay. So we're going to game 3. Boop. Alrighty. Useless, useless. Pretty good. Starting to think whether the storm might be the better call here. I'm defeated this game, that's right. Speaking my language now. I'll get rid of one Vines, bring in a Weather the Storm. I'd really like to fit in the second Moment's Peace here. We'll take out, I've already lost one on Earth. I'm going to lose one charge and we'll go like this. This will be it, no matter what. We're either going to crash and burn. We'll see you on Saturday or whatnot. And I believe we're going to be playing, right now I'm leaning towards a version of White Nickel's White Nickel. Well, this is tempting, isn't it? We can draw a card off of the green that we get, and then we have this access plan. We've got protection. Sweet. Ooh, boy. Let's gamble. We're going to keep this. This one's for all the Cheetos. Yes, indeed. I still haven't heard rain. God, that was like, a 4-minute blast, and then it was it? It's ridiculous. Typical LA. God, I hate this place. Rains twice a year, and they call it a event. It's depressing. Land. Okay, good. All right, we got something here. Yeah, see, Kappa? I'll tell you what it's all about. Yeah. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Especially you, Little Fight. Staying up so late. Shrazamon's long gone, right? I mean, when was the last time we saw him post? Guy's probably snoozing big time. As he should. The local news made it sound like we just had this torrential downpour that would just like flood everybody, and we're gonna get 6 months of worth of rain in 24 hours, and it's just like, all right, well, I could go out and exercise right now. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Well, that's interesting. Or is it? I'll do this because I have access to Unearth, and I don't care if you can spend a 3-mana spell to kill it. We're all good. Cool. He comes back. And if we draw a land, he comes back with protection from red. So that'll be nice. Problem is we're taking 4 right here. Oh, yeah, semi-cough. Good memory, Syscoms. That's my brother. Well, this is cool. If we had 1 extra, you could see how we can unearth. If we drew like a basic forest here, we'd have access to that. But we didn't. That's fine. That's dead. Maybe it's worth just hanging out with Weather the Storm. I think that's playing to lose, though. See, Nocturnal, this is when we need another land. That's why we always want this to have a little bit more land than normal. Well, I don't want to go all in on the Blighted Agent here, because we have Unearth and Reckless Charge. If we draw another land, we can really surprise our opponent, especially if we draw a Seal of Strength behind this as far as another forest. Basic Persuasion, drop, trigger, all that stuff. Too many colors. Well, I can attain them all. It's just been having trouble reaching the total number, if you really think about it. We really want an extra land of anything right now. Not just a colored specific, because we can do anything with these 2 lands. Frenzied Goblins, another one I don't think is played enough. All right. Looks like we're going to crash and burn here. Opponent's got one card left, but we're at almost 10 life. Goblin Heel Cutter is nice, but this is 3 times less expensive. Pretty good little card. Comes in a lot of different variants. That's the promo version that you just saw there. Brimstone Volley? Yikes. Well, we like this. He's Hellbent. 3. If he top decks a Lightning Bolt, we're all right. So what we can do here is we can unearth the Blighted Agent, give it haste. I guess that's the play. Blighted Agent. Say red. Come over for half the life. Next turn, if we draw a land, that'll be awesome. We could seal a strength, weather the storm and long grace, stay ahead in life, and then just win. But probably won't happen. They'll probably draw like a lightning bolt here, and we just lose. Hey, they're half dead now too, man. Especially if it's just a land or something, but if it's a... Okay, cool. It don't matter. We have to win this turn. Let's keep that in mind. All right. That's 4. I don't see many ways out of this. Dead either way. Flashback Reckless, which is a loss. I guess the only option here is to do this to this. Oops. To this to this. Then we tap this for green. And this, and then... Hold on. We sacrifice this. All right. We could play this. Yeah. That gets us to 4. That ain't enough, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's only one card that we've played this turn, so that's 6. Well, I guess we could just try to just play silly. This will gain us 6 life outside of a direct damage spell. We might be able to survive. We just attack here, and then we'll win next turn. Maybe if they don't draw like Lightning Bolt or Goblin Bushwhacker. There's quite a few outs they have. That's not... I assume with the mana cost, they've just got to pay this. Come on, land. Draw like I've been drawing. Let's go. Fire Blast? Nope. Cool. Alrighty. Well, this is a win if we do that. We can seal a strength and reckless charge that. Undefeated. That's right. I guess we just cast the Ichorclaw Myr and reckless charge it. Because if he had a... Well, if he might have a... Seal of Strength gets us 4. Excuse me. Sorry about the audio hiccup there. Let's cast Seal of Strength here. I'll just put it on this now. And then we'll just put this on here now. Huzzah! Does it do it? As I tap through my main phase and submit. Yeah, the last time I looked at this list, I think I made some tweaks to it and auto-save before I was comfortable with it, but for the most part, I think it needs at least 3 on Earthsbane. So that's my 5cc Infect. I'm going to go over the list here real quick. Don't go anywhere. Soulsfire, I think, is a necessity. You could probably go down to 1 and 1 Oblivion Ring, opening up 2 spots. I think access to 4 Oblivion Rings is a little steep. I don't know what state of the metagame I was in when I was designing this, but if you look at the curve, look at this. Just an ocean of 1-drops, right? We have plenty of green, which supports that. And we have 4, 8, 10, 11, right? 15, 19 colorful sources with 20 lands. So it's like you're playing 40 lands sort of thing, and that's kind of the gist of it. We're able to, unfortunately, I wasn't able to unearth and reckless charge a Blighted Agent and just go crazy and stuff. A lot of times that happens. The untappability of the, Chainer's Edict style effect of the Kalhani Garden, I think is kind of necessary depending on your metagame. But that being said, it's pretty cool. Don't want to watch this on YouTube. How come? Anyway, guys, we'll be back on Saturday. It's all good. We're having a good old time. Thank you so much for joining me on this little 3-part quest of trying to stream every night. That was very cool. Anyway, thank you for joining me, everybody. We're going to cut it out here. We'll see you again on Saturday. Thank you again, as always. And we're going to roll to Flame Tongue Hot Sauce, one of my favorite commercials, voiced over by Little Fight. And we'll see you next week. Adios, everybody, for now. Till then.
We've harvested the hottest spices in all the Dorman area. We've delved deep into the forgotten caves of Keldor to bring you the hottest sauce of any plane. Introducing Flame Tongue Hot Sauce. Our thermal alchemists have flame slashed and fire blasted only the most Syrian ingredient to bring a flame to your tongue that causes serious damage. Get tongued. Get Flame Tongue Hot Sauce. Deal 4 damage to any meal.
Available at all fine Sinclair superstores.